This is the opening of the Wayans Brothers. This might be just the outtake. Okay.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
You know something? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Tina Tilton.
Good morning, Christie Taylor.
You know,
I think I was a little thrown off.
I know. I did a short version of our intro because I was like, we got so much to talk about. I didn't even want to do my long play today. Good morning, everybody. I'm Christie
to get my breakfast.
Good morning. I know, right? Okay, we will talk about that. This is the Taylor Tilton Show, and I'm Christie Taylor of the Taylor Tilton Show, and this is my girl,
Tina Tilton. What's up, you guys?
All right,
now, my breakfast show.
Everybody, we just really want to
show.
tell you all, yes, about today. Feel free to make comments. We are streaming live here on Facebook and YouTube. You can also, hey, good morning, Katrina Kimball. And I did have some cayenne turmeric infused orange juice. So, and now I'm eating my oatmeal. And I even had like a little egg quiche that I'm like, oh, real fancy. But I just microwaved it. I nuked it in a microwave. So I understand you had to cook your own breakfast this morning.
You are so not right. But yes, you are correct, but you ain't right. I had to cook my own breakfast this morning because my husband is working today. He had to work this morning. So, bah humbug. But that's okay. I made it through. And let me say this, that our Taylor Tilton Show is sponsored by Christie Taylor Consulting and the Podcast Center. Good morning, Mommy. Mommy just texted us.
Hey, good morning, Mama. See, Mama is part of our show, and I be feeling some kind of way when she don't come in like in the first 5 to 10 minutes because I got to make sure we on point. We on point this morning. So, of course, as you said, the Taylor Tilton Show, this amazing audio podcast that comes every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Ooh, and I'm so glad it's audio. Glory to God.
Okay, because honey, if they could see me now, they would be like, "Oh, she don't look like that picture. She ain't looking like that picture right now."
I know. See, I have spoken about my set it off braids, but then if this were not audio, they would be seeing my set it off braids, and I don't know about that yet. Just know they exist.
They be feeling like you finna beat them up or something.
I know, right? What's wrong with Tina Tilton?
What? And of course, for those who don't know why she has a set it off braid, I'm gonna join the optical illusion with I keep my tiny fro because sometimes I just be wanting to feel like
under the wig. Because hold on now. All women know that you have set it off braids under your wigs. So that's why I have my set it off braids. But why are you rocking a fro under the wig? You got to have that stuff plaited up.
No. I can't do braids. See, I'm tender-headed.
Cut it out.
I'm tender-headed. I don't even want the braids under the wig. Okay, I'll keep my hair short and cute. And if I decide to wear, but I've got pictures on the gram and I've got pictures on the book showing my TWA, my teeny weeny afro, which I do love. And I actually have been thinking about for the spring, because spring has sprung, of actually coloring my hair because I do rockets from time to time. And, I'm about to get in the bout and start traveling. And, sometimes, on the beach and stuff, I may not want the ocean water on the wig.
You do know that fro gonna curl up though, don't you?
I don't mind that because it's real. I like to wash and wear. Oh, all right, ocean water hair. But something, in addition to the Christie Taylor Show and Tina Tilton's The Blend, which is the reason why we even do the Taylor Tilton Show, a prelude to, because our television shows, I'm going to start saying our television shows air in 6 markets now at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Super excited about that. And this entire Taylor Tilton Show and the Taylor Tilton Hour is also brought to you by Memphis Finest. And we're not talking about police. Even though that would be
I'm sorry. I'm drinking my orange juice that Sam did not prepare for me. But yeah, Memphis Finest Comedy. Comedians, that is happening, you guys. That is this Saturday. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my laugh on, and you can join us because it's at the Orpheum Theater this Saturday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. And it does feature most of Memphis Finest. We're talking about, I know we've got Oscar P. and AC, Pound Cake, Bryant, Ashanti. Gosh, I'm going off the top of my head here.
The Domes. Freestyling.
Yeah, I'm freestyling. Yeah. They will probably be checking me right about now, like she just mispronounced all of our names. But I hope I hope I didn't. But all thanks to Leonard James. So big shout outs to the promoter, Leonard James. But he said that you can also call him Leonard. So whichever. Leonard, what's up? Thank you for entrusting the Taylor Tilton Show to help you with your event, and we will have our faces in the place. But,
well, you know something, one of the people that was added late to the Memphis Finest is my boy Darius Fat Mac Clayton. Fat Mac is going to be now on the show. I love him. Yeah. I actually am a big fan, and he always said, why do you say that? Because I really am. He's an amazing poet as well as comedian, ultimate checker.
I know that. I ain't heard from Fat Mac in so long.
Oh my God. Yeah, I saw he had posted a flyer where he's now added to the show.
Interesting. This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, because he's a
master
checker.
I hope we're not down front, and I hope they don't really like check us or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be looking fly. Christie Taylor, you're going to have to come up with your flyness. What kind of fly you got?
Well, my flyness is going to be on the beaches of Panama City. Ooh.
You ain't right.
I'm gonna be sneaking out of town. I decided to sneak out.
You're gonna be out of town? Oh wow!
Don't tell nobody.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna be on the front row with you, Tina Tilton. I'm gonna be on the front row with you.
Oh wow! I'm so not. Oh wow! Okay.
It's sneaking. It's sneaking. I'm gonna be on the front row with you. I'm gonna be on the front row.
This is where I say I ain't studying you. This is that part right there.
Well, you know something, here on the Taylor Tilton Show, which is brought to you by Christie Taylor Consulting, the Podcast Center, and Memphis Finest Comedy Show coming this weekend. And I'm telling you can actually be in the building because Leonard James also gave us tickets. And if you want to go, like if you're listening right now, and you're listening live, I want you to go to our website. Matter of fact, go to tinatilton.com. Go to tinatilton.com this morning and register for your chance to be on the VIP list and be in the Orpheum this weekend for Memphis Finest. Go to tinatilton.com right now. And when you go to her website, you're going to see a real nice, sexy VIP, get the VIP treatment list. Click on that. Scroll, it's going to take you to the bottom of her page, enter your information in, and she's selecting. Am I right? We're selecting our winners by the end of the day. If you register right now, you could be one of the people who win tonight when we do our drawing and email you a confirmation that you are the winner.
I'm just in awe how you gave my website information and not yours, because you already premeditated knowing that you were going to be out of town this Saturday. So she's going to give y'all my website. Like, here, go to Tina Tilton's website, because she ain't going to be there. I'm going to be on the beach, but I'll be next to her on the front row in spirit. Did you hear that? Is that what you all heard? That's what I heard. However, as long as you are looking cute on that beach in spirit, I'm gonna be in spirit on the beach next to you, looking cute. Okay. What you finna do? How you finna rock yourself?
Well, you know something, I'm working on that today and tomorrow, because a girl got to be cute, because I ain't been outside in so long. Mm-hmm. I'm curious about me doing a whole makeover, because, you know, since 2019, 2020, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Taylor Tilton Show. Feel free to join the conversation. Let us know how you're doing on this beautiful, sunny Memphis morning with the birds chirping outside. My trees have been waving at me, and I'm fantasizing about being on the front row.
And Tina Tilton had to cook her own breakfast, but go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tina had to cook her own breakfast. I did too. Well, that's all the time. But anyway, I had my oatmeal and my microwave egg quiche. But I'm saying, Good morning, good morning, good morning. Because I have been curious since I am going to be getting outside more, hanging out, going back out. The concert we did at the River City Jazz Fest at the Cannon Center was amazing. That felt really good to be outside with grown people. Now, like I said, I'm going to sneak out of town just so I can go hear some more live music in Panama City. And then, of course, there's other trips. People like, girl, come back to LA and visit. I got friends all over. And it's like, I just need to get outside. And I need to come outside and play. And since that's the point, good morning, everybody. I'm thinking, I'm very curious on what it would look like if I totally did a makeover. Like, if I totally just changed my hair, changed my wardrobe, just change my look. You know what I'm saying? Like, go all diva-fied out, like, every day. Like, or should I do the bodycon dresses? I'm curious, like, what I look like if I get that real nice fitted shaper and all I wear is just what we call them on your body dresses back in the day. Now they call them bodycon, like body conscious. Or should I just go bohemian and just all be about the flow and the tunics and off your shoulder and having, or should I be like in jeans and boots and, not the boots, but the sandal boots. Like,
you know what? Your curiosity is getting the best of me. Pick one. Pick one. Why don't you?
Okay.
How many days will you be there?
Just a couple days, just over the weekend.
Okay, pick two. Pick two looks. Pick two looks, and then bring your tail right on back to Memphis, Tennessee, where we country at. Yeah. So
first of all, look, Florida country. Y'all try to act like Florida ain't country. It's right there near Bama, ain't it? Georgia and Bama.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Y'all be trying to make Florida look. Florida is country too. It's the look, matter of fact. How can we
well, be yourself out there then. Be yourself out there then.
But on the beach.
Right.
I got a straw hat.
Rock your country afro with your country tunic. Your country.
Baby, with my look, but they do that. Do something, girl. Have you ever seen? And now mind you, I grew up in Millington, outside of Memphis. I also went to Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I've been some places where you have those cool white chicks who will totally be dressed up in Daisy Dukes, t-shirts, and then a cowboy hat, and boots in the summertime. So don't play with
that was me in college.
Come out.
For real. No, for real. That was me. That was me in college.
You rocking the boots in the summertime with Daisy Dukes.
With my Daisy. Yeah, I love yes, seriously. And that's not a getting to know you, but but it's real. I did. I love my boots and my short shorts at the time. Now you ain't getting it. I may wear some boots. Shorts. No, I don't. Not no more.
You wear shorts. Now I am gonna have to. Now tunics, I would tunic it all day, and I have to think about that because I do have some bathing suits. I got to find out, do I still fit them? Because I ain't been in no pool or pond or ocean in a minute. Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the Taylor Tilton Show.
Where Christie is curious about what she's to wear, but I got a whole different type of curiosity this morning, Christie. And this curiosity bothers me. And it's probably gonna bother many of our listeners today too. You want to know what my curiosity is?
What are you curious about?
I'm curious as to why this school sent my baby home with a Curious George book. That's number one.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. What's okay. I remember Curious George.
You do? You should, because I was reading the preface of this book. And Curious George, it said, was first published in 1941, and since then the author has written a lot of stories about this curious little monkey. Okay,
right. Of course, over the years, there's been some controversy about Curious George, whether it was racist. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Over the years, try 2022. Try April 19th, 2022. Oh, as a matter of fact, happy birthday to my brother, Alfred Lee Jr. Happy birthday to you. Yes, happy birthday. But I got to get back into this monkey real quick, brother. But happy birthday. So the school system sent my 7-year-old home with a Curious George book. Not a problem. She's to read it. And I told her, I said, okay, go ahead on and read this book to mommy. So this can count towards your reading assignment for the day. As she was reading this book, I listened and my ears started to twinge, and the black woman when we get our eyebrows, when our eyebrows go down,
Right,
my
right,
eyebrows
right.
went down, my head went to the side, like what? Huh? Huh? Give me that book. Give me that book. And so this morning she asked me, Mommy, why do you have my Curious George book? I said, Mommy has to talk to Christie Taylor about this book later on this morning. But thank you. So let me tell you about. Okay. So this particular.
Okay.
Now this one, it doesn't have a title. It just says Curious George. But
Yeah,
you
that was
see,
it. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Well,
Okay,
but
oh my
you
God.
see
Now
him
tell me
getting
this:
carried away. So
is it the original Curious George where he has a tail, or the one he doesn't have a tail?
if he has a tail. Wait a minute. No, he ain't got no tail.
Yeah, we're in a parallel universe. In the other universe, he had a tail, and but is he eating a lot of bananas in this one?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you what he's doing in this one. So first of all, page number 4, Curious George. He lived in Africa. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Not a problem, George. He lived in Africa.
Monkeys do live in the jungles of
Well,
Africa. Okay.
well, I think monkeys live anywhere where there's trees, but whatever, because they're at the zoo in Memphis, right?
Ain't got no monkeys outside on my trees. Don't you?
But they're in a confined area. They're in Memphis, right? They're at the zoo, right? Okay, but let's stick with me. Stick with me.
Curious George.
George from Africa, right? So this nice little man, they never name him. He's just the man with the yellow hat, right? He don't have a name. So the man with the yellow hat
was he a vanilla flavor man?
Yeah, he's still vanilla. Yeah, he's still white. Yes, he's still white. And so he goes to Africa, and he sees this monkey, and he's like, "Oh, I think I want to take him home with me." This is on page 6. So he puts his hat on the ground, and of course George is curious. So George picks up the hat, and he puts the hat on his head. But because the hat is so big, because the man is a big, tall man, so the hat is big on George's head too. So George puts the hat on his head. He can't see. All of a sudden, the man picked him up and popped him in a bag.
Kidnapped him.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And it says on page 10, George was caught. And I said, Lord have mercy, George been caught by the man. Then the man, hold on, page 12, the man with the big yellow hat put George on a little boat. And then they went into a big ship. George was sad. You think he been popped in a bag? He can't see. You done kidnapped him, put him on a boat. You think he gonna be happy about that? No, he is not. All right, let me go to page 14. So the man tells George, I'm finna take you to the big zoo in the big city.
Oh,
George don't know nothing about what he's talking about. But nonetheless, they had gotten to the man's home. No correction. They had not gotten to the man's home yet. He just told George that he was gonna take him to the big zoo in the big city. See, they always have a plan. Always got a plan for somebody. Leave George alone. He was in the jungle doing fine. However, he told George, but while you're on this ship, you can go play. George sees some seagulls, and because he is curious, he decided that he wanted to know if he could fly too. So he's a monkey. He can't fly. Man overboard. You already know what page. Well, let me see what page. Page 22.
He was trying to escape.
He was trying to escape, I think. Man overboard. So the sailors actually found George. They caught him. They put him back on the ship.
They captured him again.
They captured him again. Yep. Put him back on the ship.
Swim back to his house in Africa.
He should have stayed in his house. However, they managed to get to land. The man with the yellow hat said, "Come on, we're about to go to my house." And you know what he gave George? A pipe. George is smoking a pipe on page 26. George is smoking a pipe.
Crack pipe.
Yeah, what you said. 28. Then he fell asleep at once. Okay. Then mosey on to page 30. The very next morning, the man is at his desk. He's like, "All right, I got this monkey. I'm finna call the zoo. Let him come get him. I'm finna get some money." Sounds familiar? So selling
them off. Auction.
So he called the zoo, but he walked. But George was watching him as he called the zoo, and then the man walked away from the telephone. George decided that he was going to dial some numbers too. So he just picked up the phone. He didn't know what he was dialing. He was just pushing numbers. He dialed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then all of a sudden, the fire station alarm rang. That was actually the telephone number to the fire station. So the
Lord.
fire station had, figured out which house it came from. They came running, with their fire engines and stuff like that. They opened the door and there was no fire. And they see this monkey. They done hollered at George. They tearing up the man with the yellow hat's house. They are tearing up this man's house.
Trying to capture
But
George.
to capture George because there was no fire. This was a false alarm. And you know what they did? They caught him. You know what they did on page 38?
What did they do?
They took him away. They took him away and shut him in prison. That is the last page of the last sentence on page 38. George is in prison.
The institutionalization of slavery leads to the institutionalization of incarcerating animals from Africa.
They said you fooled the fire department. And so George sitting there.
Which means a crime against the state. The fire department represents the political structure. Look, we all the way Hotep this morning. We all the way Hotep. We all
Pretty much so. This
we
is right.
woke this morning. But hold on, is that the original Curious George story?
I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
From 1940 something?
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me see what year did this say this was published?
Oh my goodness. See, now I remember the Curious George cartoon.
I do too.
But but we weren't really advocates because my mom was an avid reader, always had books in front of us, and she probably was extremely selective. Coming up as a daughter of the South, born in Mississippi, raised in West Tennessee, she probably was extremely sensitive, like you are, to the literature and the messaging. So I never remember reading Curious George, but I remember the TV show Curious George.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Copyright 1941 and renewed in 1969. Still.
Wait a minute. So the year my brother was born, they renewed that book, and here it is 2022, and they don't put it in. When I tell you that the propaganda, look, we all the way Hotep.
Yes. Hey,
propaganda continues into the 21st century.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So hold on. I'm not finished.
How are you going to handle this?
I'm not finished. Hold on. They took him to prison because they said you fooled the fire department. Basically. And so back in the day, the prisons were made with windows, so you could with bars on the windows. So of course, Curious George, being a monkey, he's climbing on the bars, trying to shake the bars and get out. The watchman came in, saw George trying to get out, and he stepped on on George's bed to try and reach him and get him down from the bars. Well, he left the door open. You know what George did? He fled.
George ran
up out of that door. Yes, he did.
Redemption, Morgan Freeman.
Yes, he did. And when he ran up out of that door, he ran through the building. He ran on the rooftop, and it says he was lucky to be a monkey because he walked out on the telephone wires.
What?
So he was able to escape. He walked the telephone wires, and he was able to escape there. And he something about some balloons. He saw a man with balloons. That's neither here nor there.
But that means he's running around town with the prison black and white outfit on, going back to outfits and style. He needed a new stylist.
They didn't put an outfit on him. He just still had his.
Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the Taylor Tilton Show. Tina Tilton is curious about George, or more importantly, this book they done gave her daughter, which is definitely the propaganda from the 20th century about
for sure.
Oh my goodness. I've never read it. Oh my goodness.
And so at the end of the day, the man with the yellow hat ended up seeing George walking around with the on the wire and with these balloons and carrying on, and he was like, okay, come on down here, George.
Now he got balloons, so now he's for their entertainment. Okay, I get it. He's in the circus. Now so he's part of the circus. Now okay.
Yeah.
Today. I'm all the way awoke Hotep today.
And page 52 says George and the man climbed into the car and at last went away to the zoo. What a nice place for George to live. Exclamation mark. Page 54. The end. Mic has been dropped. So what you said, this book right here got all that stuff in there. I was like, is George curious or is he black?
Uh-oh.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, his skin tone and the coloring of the book is both. Got
My mom said that's why she didn't watch the TV show. This again, you guys. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand the era that this was written, 1941, and again, like it states in the book, it was renewed in 1969. I wasn't even born yet. However, this
that was in the
this
height
was still
of once again
right. This was
keep subjugating the black mind.
right.
And, oh my! This is just really, and the fact that I thought certain. Now let me get this straight. Let me just, for the record,
Okay.
while they want to ban books about what really happened in the world, that's why they against critical race theory, being in other truth telling about the history of this country in relationship to black people, how we got here and what we did to basically build a nation with free labor. They want to take those books out of schools across the country, but want to keep the propaganda in the hands of our children. Oh, I'm right now.
George done did a world of things. I think I got messed up really when he got to smoking that pipe. I said, George, smoke it. Because my baby said, Mommy, what's a pipe? I said, turn the page.
See what I'm saying?
Just turn the page. Mommy's not going to explain to you what a pipe, and perhaps I should have. And for those that are listening, please tell me how I should have handled that, because I just told her to turn the page. I was not about to explain what a pipe was, because it's smoking. And you just gave my child a book where not only an animal but a children's character is smoking. Come on now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's good that you said that, because even if you take the race element out of it to put this, I mean, okay, the whole point is that y'all sensitive about so much stuff now. Y'all don't want, you know what I'm saying? Y'all super sensitive, but y'all still want to communicate to children that adult themed behavior is okay. But then it's going to lead to incarceration and end up with you being object at a zoo for display and the pleasure of others. See, it's so many things. If you take the race element out of it, see, that's why it's so important for people of color to write their own stories, to tell their own narratives, to control their own media, so that we communicate to our children and to our greater community the truth of ourselves.
But perhaps it's not. But perhaps it's not going to get into the hands of the school system, because the school system sent my child home with this book. And again, for me, yes, we remember Curious George. Everyone has it. I mean, 1941. Shucks, you weren't even born then, Christie. So everyone has a Curious George, but everyone knows Curious George. Not a big deal. But wow, just now looking back on it and being woke, as they say, hey, wait a minute. What is George really doing? Is this appropriate to send home? Y'all ain't got no other authors there that has written books since then, and not those authors that's like Arthur on TV that's got two daddies. I ain't talking about that kind of author. I'm talking about the authors that are just decent, kid-friendly stories. Allow me to teach my own child about male-female relationships. You ain't got to teach her that. I'll do that. I'm just saying.
I have to say, to be a parent at this time where the world is changing, with our history, and you also have to deal with the social issues that are being put into our, because honestly, okay, now I know this sounds, while they want us to still be curious about George, I can now say, and those from my generation, they definitely wanted our generation to be able to accept aliens. And I always said, the propaganda that they put for 10 years in our minds about Mork and Mindy, which I love that show, about My Favorite Martian, you know, all like Twilight Zone and Star Trek and all like that, the cartoons, they take me to your leader, abductions. I mean, I literally look back, I'm like, they literally, like, if they came out tomorrow and said half your neighbors are aliens, we'd be like, oh, okay. Because they prepared us for that in such a way. Mork and Mindy, which was like one of my favorite shows.
Mine too.
But he was her roommate.
Yeah, he was. And he was an alien. Right.
And he was an alien. You know, I remember when, and my sister used to love this, and my mom going back to like, guess what time it is? It's time for me to wake up, everybody. It's 9:30 a.m. Good morning. Good morning.
Lord have mercy.
Good morning, y'all. I'm waking up. Welcome to
Turn that
the
TV off. No Curious George.
No Curious George, right? No Curious George. But see, even like the cartoons, I remember my mom being very particular, and I know, like your mom said, she said that's why she didn't watch some shows. It's like my sister had a strong affinity for Bewitched and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and my mom was like, "You can't watch that." And we like, how come? And my favorite, I love Jeannie. It was but looking at it, it's like, it's just, she could clean up without getting up the cleanup.
Yeah, I know her. Put your nose and it's done.
But I'm looking back at so many things like, adults are writing this material for children to digest. Because at the end of the day, you and I are in media and we understand the power of media, whether it's broadcast, whether it's digital, whether it's print.
Print, right.
Whoever controls the medium controls the minds.
Yes.
Controls the mind. And that's one reason why we both, okay, y'all, real talk. Tina and I have had honest conversations about our feeling called into media, because I know God showed and talked to me about he has to have light everywhere. So you have to have people of the light in every spectrum of industries, because he has to be represented, because you do have to counter the darkness. Like, this is darkness. This is darkening the minds of all nationalities, because they get the message. The seeds are planted. Seeds are planted, and depending upon what we got going on in our nation right now, the seeds have grown, and we still water those seeds, and they keep on harvesting. And we like, why do we have setbacks? And I didn't know people were still racist. Why? The seeds are constantly still being planted and watered and fertilized and harvested.
And now for me, I must admit, and Mom said she didn't watch Mork and Mindy either, but I did. But for me, with this Curious George book, it wasn't even, how sometimes we as in Black people have been labeled as monkeys. I'm just gonna keep it real. They've said that about us. You look like monkeys, yada yada yada. So this is not. I'm not saying that Curious George is Black because he's a monkey, or people have compared our image or likeness to a monkey. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that some of the things that's in this book is like, wait a minute. It is the author, H.A. Ray, was there an insinuation that this particular character really is a Black person? Like, really? Because you're going too far, in my opinion. George came from Africa. You put him on the ship. Why he had to get on the ship?
And when he tried to fly, y'all caught him and brought him back. And then you start teaching him how to get on drugs. And then he was so high. He got so high, he done accidentally called the fire department.
He done called 911. Yeah, his calling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is equivalent to calling 911. 911 is going to come out if there's an emergency.
Which is a crime right now.
It is a crime. It is a crime.
It's a crime. So that means he's a lawbreaker, and then they put him in jail.
And he broke out. Right.
He broke out, Shawshank Redemption, Morgan Freeman. And then he learning how to play up like with the Cirque du Soleil with the balloons. And then they say, something, just gonna put him in a zoo.
Just gonna put him in the zoo. And there he lives happily ever after. Really?
Yes.
No, he was happy in Africa, where he came from, at the forest. What you doing in the forest, capturing folks in a yellow bag? In a bag for anyway. Leave them folk alone.
The jungle.
In the jungle. That's where he was from. Leave them folk alone. And I call him a folk. Yeah, leave them folk alone.
Wait a minute, but see, okay, let's talk about, now.
But what's your opinion, listener?
I'm not going to say that. That's why some people today have issues with traditional zoos, because you have kidnapped somebody's mama, daddy, sister, brother, animal species, and did the same thing you did to Curious George, and then you got him in the zoo for our entertainment.
I'm not in agreement with that now, because I can't take a trip to Africa and see all those various animals that the Lord has made. Glory to God, in the Memphis Zoo. I cannot go to Africa at this time to go there.
All I'm saying is that when I was watching Star Trek, going back to one of the things I love, Star Trek, and they had some human zoos. It was another
Human zoos. No, ain't nothing about that right. Ain't nothing about that right.
What's the difference? What's the Curious George and
you
Curious?
said a human zoo?
Good morning.
No, you said a human zoo.
That's on those alien shows and stuff.
But anything that you say human, there's a problem. When you say human and zoo, there's a problem. That's a problem. Animals belong in the zoo, not humans.
Why?
So to capture an animal and put it in a controlled atmosphere for us to enjoy, I don't think there's no problem.
See, you know what I'm saying? We're splitting hairs, Curious George, because
no.
If there's an alien in a yellow hat that says humans should do all these things, then what's the difference? See, that's my point.
The alien said that the humans should do those. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, see, watching my alien shows showed how they viewed humans as the
humans.
Curious Georges.
I got you. Okay, I didn't get it at first.
Yes, honey,
I understand now.
Who's up it's always about who's up the food chain, and as the old African proverb says, whoever the hunter is tells the story of. Well, I done messed up the Lord Jesus. Don't forget my African proverb. My point
that's in Christie, chapter 5, verses
whoever
12 to 13.
It's like whoever won the fight say how it really went down. That's all I'm trying to say. And I get, Lord Jesus, I ain't gonna get into this part, but even some of these schools that we have the blessedness of, providing our presence in, sometimes you really can have a child who will concoct a whole story if you're not there to eyewitness it.
Yeah.
And it's literally their perspective. So, like, if human beings say that animals should be provided for our entertainment, and then a higher species come along and say humans should be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then it is so.
Then it is so.
Wow.
But in this case, Curious George is curious because he was always curious. He was always inquisitive. He was always, as all of us are, in our environment.
Yes, we are.
Exploring this greater world. And maybe we learn from Curious George today. Look, trying to
What we learning?
Well,
how to escape prison?
No. The lesson, the whole
how to
lesson.
Smoke a pipe?
No. The whole big lesson of Curious George is don't be curious of the yellow hat. If he had not gone near the yellow hat, and I bet you his mama had probably told him, don't go near the yellow hat. She had probably told him for years, leave the yellow hat people alone.
You might be right. You are so right.
But see, he was a baby monkey. The big monkeys didn't get caught. So the big monkeys had already seen the yellow hat people.
Right.
See, that's the real lesson you need to tell baby girl.
Tell
baby girl, when I tell you to don't do something, there's a reason why. And his mom, they didn't tell this part of the story, but I'm gonna tell you what the story before the story.
You're gonna tell what the mom and daddy said, huh?
Okay. Mom and daddy said, don't fool with the yellow hat people. Can I get an amen, somebody?
Amen.
Stop fooling with these yellow hat people. And stop being curious about them yellow hat people. Leave them yellow hat people alone.
And get your brown tail. Get your brown tail over here and get somewhere and sit down.
Right. And y'all got some, in grown people's lives, we got some yellow hat people in our lives that look like us, and we need to leave them alone. They don't mean us no good. They gonna try and capture us and put us on boats. It ain't yachts. Ooh, that ain't yachts. And gonna start teaching us to be addicted to things that our mamas and daddies didn't want us addicted to, like the pipes.
Be like, this ain't no Carnival Cruise Line.
This ain't no Carnival Cruise or a private yacht with shucks. Come on now. Yeah, so I think that's the real lesson of this whole Curious George is don't be curious about the yellow people.
So in essence, curiosity does kill the cat, huh?
Baby, and
but in this case, a monkey.
And if you ain't no cat with 9 lives, you ain't coming back. That's what the book has said. That's what you need to tell Olivia.
That's what we're taking away. Okay,
that's
I'll
what
take
we're
that.
gonna pull from this. Yes.
I'll take that.
Don't be curious. Curiosity killed the cat, and if you don't have 9 lives, he ain't gonna get brought back. And if you are curious about the yellow hat people, they gonna mean the yellow hat people in your life mean you're no good.
Do you all agree with Christie? I'd love to hear your comments. Go ahead on and hit us up. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this because it is hilarious. And you do have a very, very valid point. So, okay, so since you're in this mama vein, what do you suggest I tell my daughter when she gets home?
Look what Amy says. She'll be devastated. LOL. That's right, Amy. Amy, ain't there some yellow hat people you wish you hadn't been curious about? Come on now.
But still, okay, you haven't answered me. What should I tell my daughter? What do you think I should tell my daughter when she gets home?
That they didn't read the first book. That they didn't send her home the first book where curious. This is look where my black authors at that can write.
I know, huh? Okay, I think I get it. I can tell her that. See, George didn't listen to his mom and daddy, and that's why I need you all to make good choices. Listen to mommy, listen to daddy. Okay, who said something?
Said, yes, honey. She said from corporate and beyond. I know yellow hat people are everywhere.
Yellow hat people are everywhere. Oh my gosh.
Y'all gotta look out for these yellow hat people.
I know, and see they're in disguise. They don't even have a name. He's just been the man with the big yellow hat throughout since 1941. That's a long time to not have a name. You ain't got a name yet? Come on, bruh.
But George got one. Curious George.
Yeah, he even has an adjective in front of his name.
That's right. Don't be curious about the big yellow hat people. Curiosity killed a cat, and you ain't got 9 lives, so it can't bring you back. They're gonna be like, "What the cat got to do?" Oh my mama, what mama got to say? Right. I tell you, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. This is the Taylor Tilton Show, an audio podcast, and it's a prelude to our Taylor Tilton Hour that comes up at 10 a.m. featuring the Christie Taylor Show and Tina Tilton's The Blend. I am so excited to say that, yes, we are now in 6 markets, and I'm going to let Tina take it away. Tina?
Oh, Jesus. Memphis, Chattanooga, Rome, Georgia, Florence, Huntsville, Mobile, Alabama, and next week we'll reveal the next location. Did I miss one? It doesn't seem like I did. Long story short, we're in about 330,000 televised homes. Obviously, when streaming, we are international, but in televised in homes, about 330,000 televised homes every Tuesday. So if you would like for us to share information about your event or your business, then you can always contact either one of us. You can reach Christie online, ChristieTaylorConsulting.com. You can reach me, TinaTilton.com, or you can go to our social media pages, Christie Taylor, Tina Tilton, Instagram, Christie Taylor, Tina Tilton. It doesn't matter. We got you. And we have almost somewhat branded ourselves as the event chicks because we are getting hit up quite often with events that are coming to town. And we're like, yeah, we're loving it. We're loving every moment of it. So we do appreciate you, the listener, you, the viewer, and you, the supporter for just being in our corner at this time. But
as a matter of fact, speaking about the event chicks will be at the Memphis Finest Comedy Show at the Orpheum Theater this weekend. I'll be on the front row right beside Tina Tilton. And your opportunity we're going to be announcing our winners, reaching out to our winners today. And if you want to qualify to win those tickets to the Memphis Finest Comedy Show, where my boy Fat Mac will be one of the comedians. I just say him because I know him personally. Other people
and Oscar P and Pound Cake and AC.
Right, everybody, the finest Memphis finest comedians will be at the Orpheum Theater, and your chance to win a pair of tickets is today. If you want to win tickets, I want to go to TinaTilton.com. Yes, I'm pushing Tina Tilton's website today. we need to go to tinatilton.com, sign up for the VIP list. Very
I was about to
important.
say, what's a playlist? VIP playlist.
For your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Memphis Finest Comedy Show at the Orpheum Theater. So go to her website right now. She is announcing we're going to be pulling our names today. So if you want to win, you have the end of the day to go to the website, tinatilton.com. Go to the VIP list. And even if you're listening and the concert is over, we will always be giving away tickets to concerts, getting you VIP access to amazing events, as well as some very special things that are going to be happening in May and in June that you definitely want to be a part of. So
yes,
get on the VIP list now for your chance to win.
Woo! You're talking about you needing to be, or you being curious about what to wear and things of that nature. I thought about it. I said, oh my gosh, that first week of May it already in my mind seems like a whirlwind because it's like, and I'm like, what am I going to wear? What?
Because
Mother's Day, my kids.
Are you okay? Because I know there's a lot of things like for a lot of people, Mother's Day is coming up, and shout out to Ken Gregg of Bolivar. Of course, he's from Memphis, First Friday fame, but he's also a native of Bolivar. And he has a Mother's Day event that's going to be coming up that we'll be getting more information about that we want to tell you about and possibly give you a chance to win some tickets. So once again, hey, the Hamiltons are now on tour, and we got some exciting things happening. I can't wait till we start going to Essence, though. Who knows?
Oh my goodness! That's a big one.
Yeah, the Taylor Tilton show. They should fly us into the Essence so we can help elevate them.
Elevating Essence, huh?
Yeah. They need the Taylor Tilton show. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so anybody else who has any questions about what we're talking about, send us just go to our website, tinatilton.com, christietaylorconsulting.com. Once again, hit us up on all our social. We are very social. Yes, let's get social.
Okay. Hey. Well, let's tell them something right now while we're waiting.
Hold on. See, I said I was curious about my styling needs. Girl, how come you ain't tell me your sister? She said, Camo Image Consulting gave me the website for all of my styling needs.
Yeah. Well, she styles me, so I don't think about others. Oh. I know. Sorry.
Here I am talking about. I'm curious what it would look like if I do a total top to bottom makeover. I think.
Look here, honey. I had my own set of curiosity this morning, and we have talked about it. My curiosity was with George. Yours was with clothes. I'm sorry. I did not think about your styling needs.
Well, Amy Neely, let me screenshot this. Do
that.
That's right. Okay, well, this show is being brought to you now by Camo Image Consulting. www.kamo-ic.com. All of my styling needs. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, I need to be in some tight jeans and a little body contrast.
Honey, what the world?
I've always been a little, shy about my, my voluptuousness, but I think it's time for me to, because, I still, look, ain't this my season for a blessing? Didn't I say that?
Well, I thought it was the season for grace and favor. And to reap what God has sown.
Come on now. Then you really preaching. That's what I'm talking about. Grace and favor.
Not for a dress that you got to squeeze into. I didn't know it was that season.
Well, that'll be grace and mercy. I'm gonna need some mercy with that girdle on. I can't even call them girdles anymore. Girl, look, hush them out. It's 9:49.
Come on, give us something that we don't know about you.
That's right, because coming up in 10 minutes, we're going to be inside the Taylor Tilton Hour in 6 Market. Super excited about it. For those who love us, be sure to check out the Christie Taylor Show and Tina Tilton's The Blend coming up at 10 o'clock. And what is something you don't know about me?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Did I go first last time?
It don't matter. I've already tossed it to you. It's already out there in the universe. Okay, go for it. Run, Forrest. Run.
Some people don't know about me is that I only buy black shoes.
Dear Lord. Amy, help her.
That's what I'm saying.
I am gonna type your info in there again.
Reach out to, and I really do. I really do. And I be black purses and black shoes. And I be seeing the pretty
Reach out.
colors. I be like, oh wait, that print looks so good. Oh, that paisley looks so nice. Oh, that's a nice cute shirt. And then by the time I get out to the checkout, it's black. It'd be black shoes and black purses.
Dear Lord. Yeah. Camo underscore ink.
Don't trust me.
Amy, resend that, please. Resend that information. Black, just all black Christie Taylor. Come on now, it's spring. Come on. Okay.
But anyway, this is the time you should be wearing the light colored clothes.
Yeah, or some kind of color or something. I mean, darn, even my tennis shoes are colored. I may wear sneakers all the time, but they're colored. I got a different. I have a variety of colors.
Oh, she said, no, Christy, you have to explain. I know. That's what I'm trying to say. I am curious about fashion like I've never been curious before. I've never been. And I have high society friends, people like Tina and them who love to glam up, like you, Amy. I've been with some of the most fabulous women in the world who know all the designers and everything, some of them personally. But I am now curious about fashion on me.
Good. Glory to God. Glory to God.
Okay, now what is something we don't know about you before we wrap this up for the 10 o'clock hour?
You know what? I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay. You know what? And I did have something in mind, but shucks, I have forgotten. Let me think of something.
Something we don't know about you is that you forgetting things.
Oh, you know what? That is good. That is good because that is something that I was going to talk about one of these days, but we can hit on it now. Seriously, ever since the diagnosis of COVID or the actually having the nasty old pandemic disease in December, literally for real, some of my memory has been just extremely challenged. And even though the interviews, when I do them with the entertainers, they appear to be somewhat flawless, I struggle lately because I can't remember my stuff. And I said, golly, this pandemic has not been good for journalists such as ourselves, because, you know, when you're used to asking questions on a whim, when you're listening to people talk and then you say, oh, I'm going to ask them about this. I want them to dig deeper into this particular subject. For me, I'm finding myself like, oh, I forgot what I was about to say. What I was going to ask them. Oh, Lord. So as of lately, I've been kind of jotting my questions down because I have not been able to remember quite like I did. It's a little frustrating, but I get through it. Glory to God.
Let me get this straight. Okay. I just,
I'm serious.
COVID has done a lot of things, Tina. COVID has done a lot of things. And I'm just going to say that you're trying to blame COVID.
Oh, you ain't right. No, I'm serious.
Now, let me just say
that is one of the.
You don't want to acknowledge somebody's getting close to the 5 and to the 0.
Oh, no. I have acknowledged that, and I'm grateful. In August, I will be 50.
COVID didn't do this. This is what
yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. And then not only that, I can't. Well, no, you don't know, but my sister does. I told her, I said, oh my gosh, Pepsi that I loved so much, I can't do Pepsi anymore. I know one time we were on our podcast. Yeah, the Pepsi now tastes like fragrance, and I thought that it was the fabric softener that was next to my paper cups, but it was not a fabric softener because I went to the office and I had a soda out of the refrigerator and it tasted just like the Pepsi that tasted like a perfume or a fragrance. And I said, ew, I cannot.
Your body, COVID heightened your sensitivities. That's all it was, because that stuff does have all that stuff in it.
Okay. Well, honey, I taste that perfume now. And even when it comes to wheat bread, I throw away a whole loaf because I thought that, correction. The loaf wasn't a whole loaf, but it was a half a loaf. But it was a Kroger brand. It was a Kroger brand wheat bread. So I said, and then when I tasted it, I said, okay, this must be because it's Kroger brand. I better go on back and get me some Wonder Bread. Quit playing. So the next time I went to the store, I purchased a name brand Wonder Bread wheat bread and had myself a sandwich again. And it's got this funny taste. And I texted my sister even this past weekend and I said, add wheat bread to that list. I cannot do wheat bread anymore either. It has a funny taste to me
Your
now.
body, but this is okay. We're not going to talk about aging, but there are certain things that the body does start shifting into, even in the aging process. But that's something we didn't know about you is that number one, you can no longer, that
I
you
don't
now
enjoy
have
it. I can drink it, but I don't enjoy it.
well, see, there you go. That you have to now jot down questions because you're getting that foggy brain.
Yep.
You're blaming COVID.
Come on now, stop it. Stop it.
What
It
I'm
is
hearing
COVID.
is I didn't know that you were blaming COVID for everything. Now,
Stop it.
COVID,
You ain't right.
COVID.
You know what? This is coming from a person, listeners, who has not had COVID, and I don't wish that on you at all because it is so no fun.
Now, I will say this. Francine and I said everybody only had a taste of COVID.
No, you said you never had it.
But I feel like everybody, if you was out here breathing anything, your body probably just had different reactions
or responses to it. Perhaps. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
Oh, she said you still drink root beer though.
Oh yeah. I do like my root beer. She's right. She's right. And I'm so grateful I can still taste that. It tastes good.
But it's not made with the same type of fermentation and all like
that.
It
cannot be. Right. It cannot be.
Like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But something, that's something I definitely didn't know about you is that you now have to jot down your questions and that you can now taste the fragrance and food coloring in all the foods that we have because none of this stuff is from the farm. And that's mostly that you blame COVID for everything. So I I've learned something today.
You know what? Thank y'all for coming out. Watch her show in 4 minutes. I don't know who she got on, and then watch mine at 10:30.
Wait. Okay,
no. This conversation is over. This is ended.
Let's wrap this up good. For those who are going to be joining us in the replay, they're going to be like, did they really just we appreciate you all so much for checking out the Taylor Tilton Show, which is every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Who show is this?
The Taylor Tilton Show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's still the Taylor Tilton. Lord, the Taylor Tilton Show.
Since you say I'm so forgetful.
Ooh, see, there it is. COVID. The Taylor Tilton Show. The Taylor Tilton Show on Tuesdays. Every Tuesdays at 9 a.m., which is a prelude to the Taylor Tilton Hour, and the hour increase. And that is because at 10 o'clock, the Christie Taylor Show inside the Taylor Tilton Hour, followed by at 10:30, Tina Tilton's The Blend. And once again, our show and hour is being brought to you by Tina Tilton. Go ahead.
I ain't studying you. Thank y'all for coming out, and God bless and good night.
So I think she's done, y'all. I think she's done. Blame it on COVID.
Yes.
For the biggest, that's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest, that's a comma.